Hello and welcome. We are with Michael Chase Otis, Senior Director, Product Strategy Generics at Thomson Reuters. Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I want to start by asking you, what are the similarities and differences between the Indian pharma industry in India and abroad?
It's a very interesting question. We tend to look very much, from the perspective of how Indian companies behave outside of their domestic market. But it's just a strong and vibrant market and growing market here in India as it is elsewhere from the perspective of Indian companies. I think one of the aspects that we talk about in some of our presentations here at the user group meetings today thinking about some of the longer term opportunities outside of the Indian market, like biosimilars, for example, is a very hot topic and something that's on everyone's mind. They've been very well explored already by many of the top Indian players here in their own market and elsewhere in some of the smaller markets around the world. Whereas, of course, outside of India, that's a very different picture, and the market's much slower in uptake of biosimilar products. So, that's one typical area, I think, where there's a big contrast between the domestic market and external markets. Yes.
Okay, what is the kind of growth potential that you see for the Indian pharma industry, again, within India and abroad?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think domestically, if you look at balance sheets, most Indian generic manufacturers in particular are still pretty healthy businesses. They're growing quite nicely. It's true to say that some of that growth, I think, has been thwarted in various companies. I mean, the quality issues that we've heard about at many of the plants has definitely had an impact on the industry, and it's slowed down growth in some areas, and for some companies it's really sort of put a halt on things whilst they get their plants back up and running again. And I think we heard a lot from sort of industry pundits that would see this shift of manufacturing back from India into Europe and the US, but there's a lot that comes with, if you're a buyer of generic drugs in the US or you want to change your source, there's often a lot of additional work that you have to do to undertake, if you want to make those changes. And so it's easy for sort of people external from the industry to say, well, we'll just buy our drugs from somewhere else. That's a difficult proposition sometimes, and manufacture takes time, and approval of generic drugs takes time as well. So I think what we'll see is that shift back to Europe for manufacturing won't quite be as strong as many pundits are predicting, and we'll see the Indian industry come back to full strength relatively quickly.
So, like, what particular rates of growth can one expect from this industry then?
I think
in both the markets.
Yes, I mean in most markets that are developed, it depends how you look at things from a spend perspective and a revenue perspective. For the companies concerned, growth in developed markets is quite small. It's definitely single digits.
Yes.
And in many categories is actually sort of flat to declining.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, for generic drugs, market share by volume is increasing, and that continues to be the case in most of the developed markets. Now that's exactly the opposite when you look at emerging countries, where it's double-digit growth, 10, 12, 15%, and very strong generic markets as well. So those are the kinds of figures that you can expect, maybe 1 to 5% in developed markets, much stronger in India and other emerging markets as well.
All right. Drug discovery is not a strength of many Indian players.
Yeah.
How do you think the Indian industry is positioned currently in terms of drug discovery?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because you hear that very commonly in the industry. I don't think it's quite as true or as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading this morning that Wockhardt, one of the top Indian manufacturers, is just received fast track approval for 3 of its drugs. So clearly, and I think, I guess I would accept that it's a relatively small class of companies here that are doing well with novel drug delivery systems and innovation, in terms of pipeline drug development, R&D. But those companies in general are doing pretty well. Another case in point would be Glenmark, for example, has done very well in moving attractive molecules out of the laboratory into the clinic and attracting investment and partnerships from companies like big pharma companies headquartered in the US and Europe. So I think it's something that you hear a lot, that Indian companies aren't great at novel drug development, but that's not so true when you look at the facts. And there's a fairly healthy pipeline of R&D work going on by many of the Indian companies.
Okay, how can Indian companies strike that right balance between quality and price as far as generics are concerned?
Right. Striking a balance is a difficult way to put it, because quality isn't something you can really sacrifice. And as we were talking about earlier, if you don't pay attention to quality, and again, it doesn't really matter whether you're talking about developed markets or smaller markets, quality is something that you can't sacrifice. And that's very clear in any kind of regulated environment. And the price for making the decision not to pay attention to quality is there for all to see as well in the industry. So it's something that you can't sacrifice or eliminate. It's a cost of doing business. I think also we're seeing in many cases, particularly in Europe, in the US, we're seeing regulations continue to tighten, and that has an effect on the generic industry, the API manufacturing industry here in India as well. So I'm not sure I can quite answer your question maybe the way that you want me to, but it's and Indian companies are very, very good at engineering cost out of pharmaceutical manufacturing processes, API manufacturing processes. They've done it for years. They're very, very expert at it, and I'm sure they'll continue to do that. There are plenty of opportunities to continue to do that. But price, as we all know, is important, and that's certainly true in Europe, where we're seeing lowest price tendering, for example. So you need to provide quality product at as low a price as you can do. But as I say, I think the industry has a great history of doing that, and will continue to be able to do that.
All right, my last question. 2015 is going to be a big year for the generics market in India. How do you see it unfolding for the Indian pharma industry?
I think it will continue to be a very strong year for the Indian industry. And again, I see that from both the domestic market and externally. It's true to say that certainly in developed markets, we're looking at a post-patent cliff environment. There are fewer opportunities, but again, Indian companies historically have been very, very adept at finding gaps in markets, looking for niche opportunities, building capabilities to exploit those opportunities wherever they might be. And I think they'll continue to do that, and I think they'll continue to do that very well.
Okay, Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.